Hey, my name is Hayley and today I'm going to show you how to get this lights inspired makeup tutorial. I've been loving her new music and her new comic book and I just couldn't help but create a look myself for it. If you'd like to see how I did this, then keep on watching.
We could be giants, bigger than the walls that hide us, breaking all the laws of science.
So to start off our look, we're going to prime our face using the Milk Blur Stick. Now we have a smooth base to build on top of. We're going to create a really flawless full coverage face so we can look really like a comic character. The first foundation that we're going to lay down is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. It's super lightweight, but you can build it up quite a bit, so it's going to be a good base for us. The second foundation we're going to add over top of this is the L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible Foundation. The reason that we're going to use this is it's incredibly thick and full coverage, so it's going to give us a really matte finish as well. Incredibly comic character-like. Now that we have our foundation laid down, I'm going to start concealing and brightening using my Kat Von D Lock It Concealer Cream. The reason I'm using this is because it's so bright and it's so thick, so it's really going to give us that dramatic highlighted effect. So now that we have our concealer laid down, we're going to go ahead and set everything. Today I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Lock It Translucent Setting Powder. For the under eyes, I want them to remain incredibly bright and matte, so I'm actually going to pack it on with my Beauty Blender to make sure it really gets in there. So now that we're done with the face for now, we're going to move on to brows. Lights in the comic book has incredibly sharp angled brows, so I'm going to use darker eyebrow pencil and then we're going to conceal it to make them incredibly sharp. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take that same thick Kat Von D concealer and I'm going to go around the brows and kind of clean them up. So now that we've got our brows down, we're going to start with the eyes. In the comic book, she's got these blown out red eyes, so what we're going to do to get that color is build up with a cream color. So what I'm using is the NYX Vivid Brights in Bad Blood. So now that we're slowly building up that color, we're going to start adding on a powder shadow. The eyeshadow that I'm going to use to kind of build up that red shadow still is from the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And the shadow that we're going to be using is this Red Ochre shade. It's going to kind of deepen the color and make it a little bit more opaque for us. And if you find that you're getting a little bit too messy with this red shadow, I like to kind of take any sort of nude or bone shade shadow, and in this palette what it's called is the shade Tempera. We're going to kind of just blend the shadow around the edges. It's going to kind of just clean things up a little bit for us. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on the lower lash line. Now that this is blended out a little bit better, we're going to go back in with that Red Ochre shade. So we've got one eye down. If you're worried it's a little bit too messy, don't worry, we're going to clean it up later with some powder. But for now, we're going to just finish the other eye. All right, so we've got our red eyes all done now. Now we're going to move on to some liner. So I'm going to go ahead with my Inglot Gel Liner. It's number 77. And we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit of a wing. So now we're going to just go ahead and finish up with the lashes. I'm going to do a layer of mascara just to kind of darken the lashes, and then we're going to do a pair of false lashes just to get that intense comic book feel. Now that we've got our liner done and our lashes are on, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add another coat of mascara just underneath, just so the natural lashes don't start poking out. And then we're going to do a layer of mascara on the lower lash line as well. So we're finally done with the eyes. We're going to move on to the rest of the face now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start contouring. We're going to use a lot of cool tones to contour, which is what's going to actually mimic an actual shadow opposed to using warmer contour shades. So I'm going to go ahead with my Kat Von D contour palette, and we're going to go ahead with this cool tone shade. And we're going to really start carving out the cheekbones. I want our face to look really angular. And what you want to do is take this and you want to blend it upwards to give more of that lifted look. And now what we're going to do to deepen that contour even more is we're going to add this deeper shade, and we're going to add it right in the hollows of the cheekbones. We're not going to take it very far down. This is going to add just a little bit more dimension to the cheekbones. Now what we're going to take is we're actually going to take this banana shade or whatever brightening shade that you use for your skin tone, and we're going to run this along just under where we have that eye makeup. This is going to kind of knock away any of the translucent powder that's still sitting there, and I'm going to just kind of further brighten. Now I'm going to go ahead and just contour my nose down. I do want it to be a little bit more dramatic just to mimic hers. Now just to further that contour, what I'm actually going to go ahead with is that translucent powder again and my Beauty Blender. And we're gonna run this directly under the contour. And the lip that I thought kind of closest matched was the NYX Liquid Suede in Brooklyn Thorn. Just like a nice like cool tone mauvey gray purple. So now that we've got our lip on, we're just gonna go ahead and kind of knock off all that translucent powder. All right, so here's basically the finished look. Now we need our finishing touches, which is the white mask and the red hair. So I'm gonna be right back with that.
Where we could be giants, bigger than the walls that hide us, breaking all the laws of science, looking out to see your die.
Cute.
I love it.
Yay, lipstick!
Yay, okay.